Hello again and welcome to another live blockchain webinar of Market Peak. First and foremost, apologies for the delays. Murphy's Law struck me with an absolute vengeance today and just right now before I started. So yeah, sorry for that. But here we are now. And today, I'm Benjamin, by the way, for those who didn't see me before, the CTO. Today, I want to talk to you about and show you also live first things first, the transaction fees and the different fields and options that you can set there. Because many people don't quite understand what the different fields that you can put different numbers into when it comes to transaction costs, what they really mean, how they really work. Three different fields that are to be filled in or can be changed in MetaMask, but other wallets as well. And so many people can, you could save money, I guess, on many transactions, or you can speed things up depending on what you want to do. But there's definitely a few cases where people pay more transaction fees than they really need to. And sometimes they make a mistake that costs them a lot of money and then the transaction still doesn't even work out. So this is why I want to explain this stuff to you. And also there have been changes, of course, after the Berlin update of Ethereum, which made this even more even more different than it was before. So something is new. I think it's really good. I will get into that. And after this, you should have an absolute 100% clear understanding of transaction fees on Ethereum, which fields to change, which not to change. And when we are done with that, I want to show you, and maybe there are some of the winners here that earned a Market Peak top seller NFT. I want to show you how to check these out on OpenSea. So this will be like a little introduction into OpenSea, you could say. And I will show you there how to view NFTs and also how to send them so that you have seen that. We will do this all live today. So it might take a moment here or there. That can happen when we are live. And yeah, first things first, let me find a transaction quickly that I actually want to make so that I can then demonstrate and share my screen with you then and demonstrate how the transaction fees work exactly on Ethereum. So now I have to log into my account, which does take another minute. But yeah, we are doing this live. This is not pre-recorded, so that is just how it is. Give me a minute, and then this will become all very clear. Okay. Logged back in. That's a good start. And now I have a transaction for you that I want to do. Okay. All right. Then let me share my screen with you, and then I get into the explanations here. I'll just share my full screen with you today. Okay. So, down here. Okay. So here's something I want to send. Let's use this browser here. I will open my MetaMask and make it a bit larger so you can see it better too. Oh, this wasn't here. This was here. Expand the view. Okay. Oh, this is the wrong address. Obviously it is. I have quite a few, so that can happen. All right, so I will just make a very simple transaction of peak tokens. Easy peasy. Address goes in here. My computer is sweating just a little as well, so it's a tiny bit laggy, but it's still working, it's still fine. All right, so So far, so clear. This is what you all know and see when you use MetaMask or other wallets. And now here comes the interesting part. The estimated gas fee is shown here. This peak token transfer, that's just a transfer of an ERC20 token, is now estimated to cost me $48, which is a ridiculously high amount, especially considering that the peak token value that I'm transacting is definitely less than $50. I don't have it in my head right now, but it's not $50 for sure. So why is that so expensive in the first place? Let's look this up. Here is where you can look at recommended gas prices at any time. On etherscan.io, a website you should know anyway, you can, under more and explore, click on the gas tracker. And on the gas tracker, you can see, okay, we really do have super high fees right now. So yeah, that's going to be expensive, but okay, we are live, so I just have to eat the fees for once so I can show you what I want to show you anyway. That's just the way it is. So what we see here is we have a base fee recommended on all speeds for of 221. That is a lot, a real big lot. And we have a priority fee recommended of 1 or 2. And this is a good thing to be able to know what these things are in the first place. So let's get back to MetaMask here. And usually, if it's that expensive, I personally would just not do it. I would just do it at another time. But I want to show you this, so I will have to do it anyway. These are the 3 fields that I'm talking about that you really, really should understand properly what they mean, which of those you should change and which you should not. Let me just have a quick look into the chat. The screen is a little gray. That's possible, actually. Maybe, okay, thanks for the feedback. I try to, it is, yeah, it is. Okay, sorry. Then let me try to share the screen in a different way. Okay. As I said, Murphy's Law is really kicking me hard today, and this is just a continuation of that. Of course, the screen has to be dark gray for you guys too. Then let me share the individual window that should fix the gray overlay. Thanks for the feedback, by the way. It should be this window here. Yes, okay. The screen should be better now, right? I think it should be better now. Okay, back on topic though. The 3 fields here are really good to understand. And by the way, if you don't see these, so let me just go back one step, right? Here's the tiny edit button. It's really not big, so you might overlook it or not even notice it before. This is where you can make your own settings regarding the gas fees. So we hit the edit button here, and then you click on the advanced option link or button here. And this is where you get to the actual settings that you really want to get at. So now, back to the gas tracker. The gas prices have just fallen, which is good. Fallen a lot, actually. So you can see that even waiting just a few minutes sometimes can save you money. But now to these 3 fields here. Point A, the gas limit. So gas is is what you pay, and it's calculated in, let's say, units. And the gas limit is how many units of gas are you willing to spend for this for this particular transaction. What do I mean with units of gas? Let's compare to a car. When you are driving with a car, you want to drive from A to B. And then you can just say how many units, let's say liters or gallons, depending on where you live, of fuel are you willing to expend on that? So you can set a limit. You can say, I am not willing to give out more than 10 liters of fuel to drive. Now, is this enough or not? That depends on the distance. And on Ethereum, it depends on the complexity of the calculation that has to be done for the particular transaction that you want to do. The difference to the car example is, though, if you set a gas limit that is too low, then it's not so that the transaction will just be rejected or something. No, the car, to get back to the car example, the car will drive until the gas limit is used up until the fuel that you did allow is completely used up. And when that was not enough, so when the car did not reach place B with the fuel limit that you have set, then it will just be, let's say, towed back to where you started, place A, but the gas is spent anyway. The fuel is spent anyway. And this is why the gas limit field is a field where you should usually not set a lower value. And if you say you're willing to pay for 10 liters of fuel, but you actually only need 3, then you will only use 3. You will only use as much as you actually need, even if you set a much higher limit. So it's not really such a bad thing if there is a high gas limit in there. You will not use, usually you will not use up the gas limit. So when I do batch transactions, or other complicated things, then or swaps or something, it might say the transaction cost is, let's say, $700, but then it's only 300 because the limit is not used. So keep that in mind. Many transactions, this is why it says max fee up top here, right? The actual fee will nearly always be lower, so keep that in mind. But if you set it too low, if you set it just a little bit below what's actually needed, then you will pay everything and the transaction will still fail with an out of gas error. And that is just the worst thing I think that can happen, because you do spend all the money, but the transaction doesn't happen. You have to try again with a higher gas limit. So really, unless you really, really know what you're doing, do not lower the number that is given to you. No sound, honestly. Can others confirm that there is no sound? Can I get feedback on the sound, please? Okay, I will wait a moment until I get feedback on the sound, because okay, so the no sound, Thomas, well, okay, then the no sound thing is just one viewer. Okay. Thanks for the feedback. I thought this couldn't get any worse. Okay, that would have fit the rest of my day. That is exactly how my day went today. Thanks for the feedback. Okay, then, back to the explanation. All right, so as I said, a high number for gas limit is not a problem. You won't use all that what you write into there or what is in there. You will only use as much as is actually needed. So this is why, and yeah, if you have too little in there, then you will spend the money and the transaction will fail with an out of gas error. So this is why, unless you really, really know what you're doing, don't touch this number. Just don't touch that number. This is not where you should try to save money. The next field, however, this is where you should try to save money. Now, in this transaction, in the max priority fee field, it only says 1.5, which is completely reasonable. First, let me explain what the max priority fee is. So since the last really, really big update of Ethereum, the so-called Berlin update, the fee structure has been changed into a base fee that is burned. It's no longer given to the miners, it's burned, and a priority fee. This is the only thing that actually gets to the miners. So the rest, you're not paying for the miners, it really gets burned. Only the priority fee is paid to them. And this is why it's called a priority fee. If you put 1 in there and another person puts 2 or 3 in there, and then it's one of the rare cases where a decision has to be made in this current block, is it this transaction or that transaction, then the one with the higher priority fee will be used. But if it says 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10, that isn't so much of a big difference. But look at the suggested fee down here, the overall fee, 264. Now that is a lot. It's a real, real big lot. And often, not always, like in this case, not, but very often when you don't start the transaction yourself, particularly in MetaMask, but you are on some DeFi site, that then opens MetaMask for you, where you should just basically accept the transaction. This can be on sites that do swaps or other tools that work with your wallet. There, it often happens, and I don't know why this happens, but it's good to know that it does. And so I don't know if the issue is with MetaMask or with those particular sites where the error appears. They will just, and this is really important because this wastes you a lot of money that you could just save. It happens often that MetaMask will put the same number from the max fee field up into the max priority fee field. And that's really bad because that can cost you a lot of money. So don't do that, right? If that is the case, then you will not spend the 233, but you might be spending 50 or something. And you just do not want to do that actually if 1 or 2 is enough. And for the priority fee, as I said, 1 or 2 is nearly always enough. Let's look back onto the Etherscan gas tracker. It recommends right now priority fee of 1 or of 2. And this is why really have a look into this field. Very often MetaMask will put you a ridiculously high number in here. You absolutely want to correct this number downwards. And I will just use 2 right now so that the transaction happens really fast, because I don't want to waste too much of your time watching me do this. And now for this field down here, the max fee field. What is important to know, and this is a really big change, another big change of the fees and how they work. And it's really good to know also that you will not pay what you put in there. So I can, without the problem, I can put 1,000 in here. I will not pay a gas price of 1,000 now. I will only pay the gas price that is currently necessary, and that fluctuates all the time. But this is defined by the network. It's not even the miners that say, now it's 50, now it's 200. It's the network itself, really. And if you are in an absolute hurry, you can put a really high number in there, 500, 1,000. And now it says the maximum fee for this simple token transfer is $245, but that will not be used because currently the gas price is 200, which is still, it's extremely high, but it's not 1,000, right? And to show you that this is actually true, I will just, for the sake of example, put 1,000 in here. And then you will see that this is a maximum that you're willing to pay. This is not how much you will actually pay. You will only pay what is necessary. But if the gas price is like now, if you saw this in the tab up here, it seems to be fluctuating right now roughly between 150 and 250. So if you're in an absolute hurry, you might want to put 300 as a max fee here right now. Another thing that is good to know is that this max fee field is the sum of your maximum base fee and your maximum priority fee. So this means that, as it says here, the max fee is the sum of base fee and priority fee. So if I put 1,000 in here, what that means is I am willing to pay 2 maximum to the miners and 998 basically to the network to be burned. But let me demonstrate that you can put a high number in here. So I will put 1,000, which is ridiculously high, but it's not a problem. It will only use these still extremely high. Let's say what it will be in the end, somewhere around 200. And yeah, so now, oh, I think I didn't hit the save button. Oh, I did. Okay. MetaMask just didn't quite update that, but that should be fine. So we confirm that. There we go. Open this transaction on Etherscan so we can watch it live. Of course, it says estimated confirmation time less than 45 seconds. We said we are willing to pay up to 1,000 gas price, which is an extremely high number. And the transaction has already been confirmed. Of course, it has. If you're willing to pay that much, it is really fast. So let's wait until Etherscan updates it too. In just a moment, Etherscan will notice that this transaction has actually already been confirmed. And then I want to show you that it was a much lower, here we go. A much lower gas price was actually used. So the gas price that was actually used is only 149, although I put in 1000, right? And this is a really, really cool change to before, because before the Berlin update, if you put 1000, it will use 1000. And now it is actually just the maximum value. And that is really cool. And then we can also see, and again, here we see the thing that I mentioned with the gas limit, right? The gas limit for this transaction was suggested by MetaMask, 51,000 something. It was only used though 34,500. So it was only used about 2/3 of the gas limit that we set. And yeah, so I hope this explained the three different fields. We have the gas limit. This is how many units are you willing to spend? And then we have the priority fee. This is what it tipped basically to the miners. And you definitely should check this number if you're not starting a transaction yourself within MetaMask, but if a other site opens MetaMask for you, you definitely want to check that field really, because very often we have extremely high numbers in there that make no sense whatsoever, but cost you a lot of money. Yeah, that's I think everything that is to say about the transaction fees. I will have a check and a look into the chat to see if there's any question for that. No, it's no question so far for that. Okay, then I will stop sharing that window for now. And also, yeah, one thing that is also just a thing to keep in mind, of course, why are the transaction fees in dollars so extremely high right now? It is the amount of gas that you use multiplied with the gas price in gigawatt, which is a unit, is like a cent of Ethereum, right? So basically, how much does 1 unit of gas cost in Ethereum right now? Then this gives you the overall cost in Ethereum. But right now, Ethereum is close or at its all-time high. So this means if Ethereum is extremely expensive, then your transaction will be very expensive. Again, similar to the car. If you want to drive from A to B and you need 7 liters of gas, 7 liters of fuel, then if the liter costs $1 right now, then you will pay $7. If the liter costs $10 right now, then you will pay $70, although you spend the same amount of fuel for the ride. And so if you combine these things, then you know why right now the transaction fees on Ethereum are so extremely high. And yeah, I hope that explains that, and I hope that was useful to some. I will have a quick sip of coffee, and then we can, maybe you can give me some feedback. Would you like a quick introduction that should take another 10, maybe 20 minutes to OpenSea and the NFTs? How can you, particularly, as I said, if you are one of the top sellers that managed to get one of our rewards, NFTs, would you like to see how you can check it out, how you can connect your wallet to OpenSea and so on? Or is that enough for today? Stefan, thank you. Really good question, actually. Really good question that Stefan just asked. And I wanted to say this anyway, but then I forgot. Sorry, so thank you. Stefan asked, how do we know how low we can go on those fees? That's a good question. So you saw this gas tracker, right? That is a good indicator. Let me open that up again. The gas tracker on Etherscan. That is a good indicator. Just a moment, just a moment. All right, here we go. Let me share the screen again. I try sharing my full screen again. If we get the gray overlay again, then I have to go back to sharing just a single window. No, I get the gray overlay again. Okay. I thought the gray overlay would only be on my screen, not on yours too, but live and learn, I guess. So back to the gas tracker. Okay. The priority fees, you should not necessarily go much lower than is shown here. It usually says 1 or 2. Often it actually also says 0. So you can't go much lower than 1 or 2 anyway, right? What would you do there? So that's not really the issue. The good question is in the maximum fee field, how low can you go there? And that depends on 2 factors. That depends on high and low gas price currently, because it fluctuates a lot during the day. So this is also something, if you want to make a transaction, that is really expensive, but it doesn't matter so much if you do it right now or maybe tomorrow or in a few hours. If that is okay, then it is absolutely worth checking after you wake up in the morning. What are the gas prices right now? Then check during the day and check in the evening again. They can definitely in one day easily fluctuate from, let's say, 50 to 300. And so if you don't need your transaction done this moment, but if it's fine, if it's like today or tomorrow or something, definitely just check during different times of the day. Which times in particular are low fee times does depend, of course, also on where in the world you are sitting. Because if it's morning in Germany, for example, then it's middle of the night in the US, and it's middle of the day or afternoon or evening in Asia. So the exact time of the day depends on where you're living, but check that out. And let's say currently the gas prices are fluctuating. And I mean, I use it every day, so I know it a bit because I'm doing it a lot. The gas prices currently fluctuate between should be 60 to 80 on the low end, but for the last 2 days it has been a bit above 100 actually, also also at the low points, up to 300 something. So another way to save some money, if you don't really want to check during different times of the day and come back to it and look, is it cheaper now? No, try in a few hours, is it cheaper now? What you can then do is in the maximum fee field, just set a lower number. For example, I might set 100 or 120. Why this particular number? Why 120 when it says 180 here? Because I happen to know that currently in the up and down of the gas price, currently the low is about 100, 120. I just happen to know this because I use it a lot. I think there might be websites that can give you a graph really where you can see the gas price going up and down over time. There are other sites, maybe ETH gas station can do that, for example. It's worth a try. Let's check that out. ETH gas station. And that was .io, was it? It was not .io, so maybe I just Google that site. It was .info. Okay, fair enough. Maybe we have, oh, I think I'm in the wrong window. Yeah, maybe we have a graph here. No, we don't either. Okay. We apparently do not. So yeah, if you're not using it multiple times a day, then you might not know off the top of your head what a currently reasonable low price is. But you can also just try it. You can also just put a low number in there. Let's say 100, and then next morning you just check, did the transaction go through? Yes, okay, no, maybe increase the fee by 20% or have a look then at the gas tracker, what is a currently reasonable price. So yeah, how low can you go? It depends. And a few weeks ago, you could go as low as 50 and the next morning it would be done. But currently it should be, I guess, at least 100, more like 120. And then it will still take hours or get done like overnight or something like that. But yeah, if you're not in a big hurry, that is completely fine to do it like that. Okay. Next question from Stefan. Does that also work for Binance Smart Chain? No, it does not. It does not actually. I'm not 100% sure, but the gas price on Binance Smart Chain seems to just always be 5. So I don't think you can go lower than that, and I don't think there's no point in going higher than that. And also, it is a bit of a different fee structure on Binance Smart Chain. They still have the same fee model that Ethereum had before the Berlin update, which means they don't have this split fee in base fee and priority fee. Or let's say base fee for the network and the priority fee, the tip for the miners. They just have one fee, as Ethereum had before that. So no, it does not work like that for Binance Smart Chain. You can't really do something. And yeah, Stefan, as I said, you can absolutely go under the listed prices on Etherscan, but the question is, well, it's not a question. You will just see if it goes through or not. If you put 50 right now, it's not going to go through. It will just stay pending for 2 days or 1 day or 3 days maybe. And then it will just be dropped completely because it is just too low. Because right now there is a ton going on the Ethereum network. That is it. But you might as well put 100 or 120 instead of the current about 200, and that will get done. You might try 80. And of course, there's no harm in putting a 50. If it's not done the next morning, you can still increase the price, right? So it's not really a problem if you do that. So yeah, okay. So much for that. I think that's enough about the gas prices. Then the next thing will be the NFTs. And yeah, exactly, an intro into OpenSea. I have created a new wallet address just for this demo. Now let me switch to that wallet address and then I will share my screen again with you. Just a moment. Yeah, my MetaMask is extremely slow right now. That is, of course, that has to happen. It's not opening right now. That is a little bit annoying. But yeah, this can happen if you do a live demo. Now it opens. Okay, it was a bit slow. So where do we have the address? Okay, found the address, copied the address. So now I will go back to my main address and then I will share my screen again with you and yeah, show you how you would look for your own, for example, market peak NFT or others on OpenSea if you've never used it before. So we will do that from scratch, and that I think that should be very understandable. Of course, afterwards, if there's still open questions, just let me know the questions and I will do my best to answer you all of that. Okay. Yep, here we go. Ready to share my screen again. All right. So you should now see, yes, you should now see OpenSea. And this is not how you would start out, but why not just send you the sending of the thing also? And as you can see, my computer is struggling right now. I do not know what's going on. Maybe it's literally just a bit hot because it's hot. Okay, so here's the transfer button. I click transfer. I didn't notice that my wallet is connected actually, so I give it a moment more. Just wait a little moment longer. This should do it now. Yes, okay, here we go. So this is the demo address that I made for this webinar. I will now send one of those market peak NFTs to that address, and then I will send it right back. And so you can see how that looks like. So you see the sending is pretty simple. Click the send button, put in the address. You can change the number also if you have more than one and you want to send more than one at once. Right now, I just want to send the one. Then you click transfer, then you click transfer again. Then your MetaMask pops up and you click sign to sign that transaction. You wait a little bit. This is working. I'm really happy because 1 hour ago, the Polygon network was just not working. And the NFTs here, our NFTs live on Polygon. So I wasn't sure I would be able to show this to you at all. Luckily, it's working again. Very good. So I can actually show this to you. All right, we will just open that here for fun. Not really needed, but better safe than sorry. Okay, now I will show you how you would check if you already got it. For example, they're not all out yet. Sorry, it takes a lot longer. For example, today, Polygon was just not available for, I don't know for how long. It was not available like 6 or so hours ago, or 5, and it was not available 1 hour ago. Now it is again. So apologies for those of you who actually won one and didn't get it yet. We're doing what we can. It is a bigger struggle than anticipated, quite frankly. Okay, so where's my demo address? Demo 2, here we go. So this address I just created. You see there's absolutely nothing there. There's exactly 0.0 Ethereum there. And this is cool and interesting to note because you can transfer NFTs on not all NFTs, but some you can transfer on OpenSea for literally 0 transaction cost, like just literally none at all, and that's really cool. So how would you do this? You go to opensea.io. You wait a bit. You click this wallet symbol here as soon as you can. Oh, it still thinks I'm connected with the other account. So all right, that's yet another problem that struck. Since the last update, my Firefox is not working anymore, so I can't do it in 2 browsers at once, which would be much more convenient. That just doesn't work right now. So let me check. It still thinks I'm connected to the main address, which I should not be. No, I'm not. Okay, so let's just maybe close this to let the computer sweat less. And I think now it noticed that I'm no longer connected with the main. No, it still thinks I'm connected with the main wallet. Okay, so what you can in any case do, if you're not connected, you click this thing and then you get to the connect screen. I will now click profile, and now it really should notice that I am, okay, this is, yeah, Murphy's Law. As I said, I am having just that kind of day-to-day all day long. Then I will connect manually to the site. That also works. Here it says not connected. Where was that? Oh, come on. Nope. Do you notice it now? Okay, let me try private window. Maybe that works. I hope so. Okay. This went a lot better in the German webinar 2 days ago. I swear it did. Okay, let's try the private window. Maybe that works. Okay, share this one. Let's see if that works. opensea.io, as I said. Okay. Okay, it does not seem to think that I am connected with the other wallet address. It does actually. Why? Why is that? Did I not change it? Okay, This is the button I was looking for. Maybe usually you can just, as I said, you can just click on the wallet button and then it OpenSea will automatically bring you to the page where you can choose which wallet you want to connect with. Usually MetaMask, but others work too. Or another way to do it is to click on this profile button here. And this will also, if you're not already connected, will throw you to the overview page where you can choose which wallet to connect with. Okay, but I will have to do it a different way. So apologies for this. That did work better in the that did work better 2 days ago. But here is a connect button, so let's see if that works now. So now it does say connected here. Okay, let's reload the page once more. Yes, okay, finally. Finally. Now this is the demo address that I made for this webinar. Managed to actually connect it to OpenSea now. And if you are one of the winners of our Market Peak NFT, then I would recommend you to just go to your profile after connecting, and then you will see this. The only difference will be maybe a different join date and a different address here, the address that you have connected with. And then you might ask, oh, where is it? I didn't get it. Here, collected 0. That's true. It's hidden. So you click on hidden and you see there is a 1 at hidden. And if you click hidden, then you will actually see it. And here you can see, yeah, okay, on this account, there actually is this one Market Peak NFT. So then you can click on it, go to the overview page of it, and you see here, you own 1. So far, so good. That's all right. And now I want to talk to you, explain what the hidden thing means, right? Hidden just means that if somebody else puts in your wallet address in the search field here, then they will not see the NFTs that you own that are set to hidden. And if you get this Market Peak NFT sent, it will be set to hidden just by standard, as just the default. That's not an issue at all. This just means it's basically not publicly visible to other people. It's only visible to you when you connect with that address. If you want to change that, if you would like to show off your success that made you get one of these, then you simply click down here. Yeah, the 3 dots down here. You click those, you click unhide. And if you have unhidden it, then you confirm that you really want to unhide here. And then you might sign. So this is basically the login because I didn't do that yet with the address. Again, this costs nothing at all, no transaction fees at all. You see, I had 0 on this completely new address, and I could sign this transaction because we are working on OpenSea with the Polygon network. So that is the upside of that. And now you will see hidden 0 and collected 1. So now the only real difference is that it's in a different place. And if somebody else now puts your address into the search field, then they can see that you are the owner of one of these Market Peak Top Seller Awards. Exactly. And the same holds true for any other NFTs you might have, right? That is just a way for you to show it off in public. And for other NFTs also, if you want to sell other NFTs, then you want to not have them hidden, right? Because you might have a tough time selling what other people cannot see. So now I want to send this thing back to the main address because this demo address obviously does not deserve a top seller award. So I have to send it back. For this, I quickly need the other address. And the other address is the Market Peak address. Let me just quickly copy this address. Here we go. And once more, I want to say it because it's really cool. This address I'm using right now has no money on it whatsoever, but I can make this NFT transfer on OpenSea anyway. So once more, a bit slower than before. Here's the transfer button. Click that. How many would you like to send? 1. Put the address in here. Click transfer. Click transfer once more. then sign the transaction in MetaMask or your wallet of choice. You can't see my MetaMask right now. That's, I guess you can't see the MetaMask right now. But you know how this is, right? The MetaMask pops up, and then there's a cancel and a confirm button. And that's basically a cancel and a sign button. So you click the sign button instead of the cancel button. Sorry that sharing the whole screen also doesn't work today. Many things just do not work today for me. It happens. And now you can see the transfer is processing, and the transfer is now completed already. And if I refresh the site and OpenSea is not letting me down right now, then we will see that the you own one will now no longer be there. It didn't refresh that quickly. Okay, it didn't. Doesn't really matter. It might take a minute or two for OpenSea to notice that I have just sent this NFT back, basically. That really doesn't change the story I'm telling here, though. So that should be fine. Okay, so much for that. And yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys today. And now, as per usual, let me have a look into the chat if any other questions or so came up. Doesn't look like it right now, but as always, I will stay for a few more minutes just to wait if yeah, if any questions do come up. Nothing so far. I give you another 2 minutes to see if questions do come up. How can we see the price of NFTs? Well, that's pretty easy. They're just shown usually on the platform right there. So, yeah, I can show you that. I can show you that, no problem. Give me just a moment. Just a moment. All right. Okay, let me share my screen again with you. Then I can just show you live how you can see the prices of NFTs. Share this. This should be the one. Yes. Okay. So let's pick a random something. Actually, let's just explore and look at some random NFTs. Let's say we look at trading cards, just for fun. Okay. This looks funny, so let's go with that. And here you can see the different prices. So you can see two things here. You can see, maybe I should zoom in just a little bit. It is rather small. Okay, that should be quite visible now, right? So we have the last here. That was the last price paid. Okay, now it's a bit much. Now it's even more, too much. Okay, okay, yes. Yeah, my computer has issues today too. I am not sure what's going on here. It is definitely a day to forget for me, at least. Sorry about that. So you see here the last, and that's the price I was paid last. So this particular NFT here was last sold for 0.013 Ethereum. And it is currently on offer for 0.01 Ethereum. So this particular one has gone down a bit. And that's where you see the price. What you can also do on OpenSea, you can go to any address that you know has NFTs, and you can just look at the NFTs that are lying on a particular address, and you can make an offer, any offer. And if the offer sounds good to the owner of that NFT, the owner will just accept the offer. And if the offer doesn't sound good, then the owner will not accept the offer. But yeah, this is how, at least on OpenSea, this is where you see the prices, just right there, bottom right corner. You have the last sales price and you have the current ask price for it. That's how that goes. Yeah, okay. Let's see if there are more questions. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback, Jordan. Nice to hear. I didn't get the point of the market peak NFT. Can you explain it very quickly? So the point of the market peak NFT, it is, I would consider it a reward or a trophy for the particularly successful members that were particularly successful in sales. And yeah, that's what that is. It's basically a reward for the top. It's, to be exact, the number is 1038. So it's a reward for the top 1038 sales guys, basically. Sales ladies also, sales people. Let's call them that. This is what the market peak NFT is for. It's possible that we might come, and it's no guarantee though, really, like, don't get me wrong, but it's possible that we might in the future decide to give some kind of benefit to the owners of these market peak top seller award NFTs. That is, it's an option. It's not planned right now. We do have other cool things planned though with NFTs at Market Peak. I'm not allowed to spoiler anything, so I will not, or I get in trouble. But yeah, we do have something cool planned, something that looks very interesting and looks very cool, honestly. I'm not too much of an art guy, but that does look cool. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I hope that answers the question. What's the point of the market peak NFT right now? It's basically just saying you did an amazing job. Great. Thumbs up. That is that for now, exactly. And yeah, for those of you who do speak German, if there's something you missed here or so, or if you just don't believe me that the webinar went a lot smoother 2 days ago in German, it did. You can check it in the back office as soon as it's online there. But yeah, I think I was still able to explain the fees and the different fields and what you should use them for, what not, what you can do and what you shouldn't, as well as give you an intro to OpenSea, even though everything was a bit of a struggle today. That just happens when you're live. Okay, the planned ending time is in 2 minutes, so I will just wait for a bit until the time is over anyway. Next question, could those holders sell me an NFT? Yeah, I guess so. Why not? I think so. If anybody wants to sell and you're willing to pay money for that, yeah, you might be able to buy one from somebody who's willing to sell, for sure. I can't really answer the question because in the end you have to ask a person who owns one, right? But if they're willing to sell it, yes, they can sell it, absolutely. And of course, you're welcome. I am happy to answer questions. I like the I like the interaction with the audience. That is cool and that is fun to me. So yeah, always happy to answer your questions as best I can. Of course, of course. So you're all very welcome. And thanks for watching, by the way. Always appreciate it. Always very low viewer numbers in English, like not even 10% of we have in German. I hope we get in German, but all right, I hope that goes up at some point. Okay, time is nearly up. Oh, I did start late, so we can do 5 minutes over if necessity is there. So if there's any more questions or feedback, let me know. By the way, next week the topic will be metaverse. Just as a little heads up. So yeah, I hope this interests many people. It's quite a big thing apparently now. Becoming very rapidly becoming quite a big thing. Stefan, thank you for watching, of course, and the others. You are very welcome. Okay, so it does not look like any more questions are coming up. So I will end the stream in a minute. I will stay in the chat for just a few minutes longer, just in case anything does come up, or you want to get something off your chest or have an urgent question. Otherwise, I hope to see you again next week. As I said, next week topic metaverse. That should be interesting to quite a few. It's I guess it's a cool thing. I think it's a cool thing, but I will be able to tell you for sure if it is next week. So with that, yeah, thanks for watching, much appreciated. Thanks for the nice feedback. Thanks for your questions in the chat that also make the whole thing a bit livelier and more interactive. I think that's always very cool if there are questions from the chat. And with that, I wish you a great rest of the day or evening or night, depending on where on the planet you happen to be and what time it is where you are right now. And also, it's Thursday, but I wish you a great weekend already anyway. Or if you're in those parts of the world where the weekend starts tomorrow, then just have a great weekend. And yeah, hope to see you again next week. That's it from me for today. Bye-bye.